usage of credit card, which is now at an all-time high, year to date 38.3%. Kartik, classic case. Should you not be using credit card? Are you using credit card too much? Because it's got the RBI governor worried.
Yeah, so Shweta, I am not really a certified financial advisor to give you
for
or
that
anybody
disclaimer.
else any advice on whether or not to use a credit card. But I think the sort of, the devil is really in the data in this case. And data reveals that in the month of October 2023, the festive month, credit card usage has gone up about 38.3% or so, year-on-year basis. Even if you look at the calendar year, across all the other 9 months of the year from Jan to September, October, the 10th month, stands out as the highest, usage of credit cards. Now, the transactions are not just up in value, the transactions are also up in volume. So while the volume of transactions has gone up just about 38% or so, the volume of transactions or the size of what people are buying has ballooned to about 55% or so, which is suggestive of a trend. And this again is data from Bank Bazaar. Adil Shetty has been quoted by the Financial Express, and this is data from there, and it is suggestive of the fact that as many as 65% of the transactions are happening online. Credit card transactions are happening online. And if you were to correlate this data, 65% transactions online and the volume of credit card transactions up about 39%, but the value up 55%, it goes on to suggest that more people are buying more expensive things online using credit cards as a medium. And Adil Shetty has also been quoted suggesting that EMIs, easy EMIs, no-cost EMIs have largely been responsible for this sort of a fillip, this sort of a growth that we've seen in online spends using credit card of high transaction values. Now, you mentioned RBI Governor Shaktikanta Das tightening the noose around unsecured loans. I think
I'm being worried in general about the credit card spending and the ballooning debt.
Exactly. So I think we are talking specifically about unsecured loans in this case, and these are largely personal loans that do not have a collateral. If you take a home loan, for example, the bank can always repossess your home. If you take a car loan, the bank can take your car back. But in the case of personal loans, there isn't really a collateral. Even a gold loan, for example, has a value of gold attached to it. So what the RBI did was it assigned a higher risk weight to unsecured loans, which includes personal loans as well as credit card spends. What that really entails is that, let's say, the 9% minimum provisioning which was required on every 100 rupees that you lent out, you have to keep 9 rupees aside. That needs to now go up by about 25%. So banks, for every 100 rupees that they lend out, will have to keep about 11.6 rupees or so aside. This is going to make borrowing more expensive because banks have this capital requirement. Now, with borrowing becoming more expensive for end consumers, is this trend going to reverse? My limited sort of, calculations tell me that perhaps the dent on end consumers who opt using converting their spends into EMIs, the dent is not going to be very significant to prevent them from going ahead and making those spends. But life, I think, is going to become very difficult for NBFCs who are now going to borrow from banks at a much higher rate and will try to lend to customers at a rate even higher than that. So I believe that this credit card usage, in any case, October being a festive month, but data year on year still suggesting that people are spending more. Maybe this trend is going to taper down for rest of the year because spends are not going to be in that much quantity. People prefer buying new gadgets, new gizmos, new technological items, even gold for that matter, in festive season. That festive season now behind us, we'll see in any case some sort of tapering off of EMIs, of impulsive or long planned purchases. But eventually, for anybody out there who wants to take an unsecured loan, RBI is disincentivizing banks issuing unsecured loan and wanting banks to provision more, and NBFCs, etc., will obviously have to pass on part of that cost to the end consumers, making loans a little more expensive.
All right, but interesting data coming in by the way of credit card usage, up almost over 30%, currently at 1.8 trillion rupees in the month of October, on the back of very strong festive demand.